folks. Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan here. Yes, Jennifer E Strachan, DBA LDAMS, Legal Document Assistance and Multi Services. LDAMS, the acronym on the wall in my home office, is the acronym for my firm, Legal Document Assistance and Multi Services. Yes, folks, and today is Monday. The chapter in Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan Life Live is called Monday, June 9th, 2025. Yes, hooray! I've arrived at work, woke out of my bed, thankful, grateful for life. I'm on the job, available for hire, HIRE, providing and rendering professional services, and of course, anyone needing and wanting to hire HIRE Jennifer E Strachan or wanting or needing professional services can contact Jennifer E Strachan. Contact me. I'm at 347-693-4437 or email jenniferestrachan.ldams@workmail.com. And also do visit my website LDAMS-BigAsThis.com, where I have articles of clothing for sale. Thanks for your support. If and when you do support this worthy cause. Yes, folks, and again, yes, well, today is not again. This is not an again moment. Today is the only opportunity of June 9th, 2025. So I'm thankful for life, grateful, thanking my parents who named Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan. Well, Dora Strachan and Christopher Aloysius Strachan did. Yes, two Grenadians created this one individual, unique Grenadian human life and business owner, businesswoman, educated, vested, learned, invested. Yes, I'll stop here for a brief moment just to do my live broadcast. And so I'm happy I'm alive. I'm in the land of the living. And remember over the weekend, I think it might have been Saturday, I when I was doing my live, I spoke to y'all and I said, hooray for the weekend. I like weekends. I love weekends. And I was saying, I thought about it and I said, everybody's always happy about the weekends. Why aren't people happy? People aren't happy about weekdays. What's up with that? Don't you all work? Don't you all love what you all do? As what you all have been saying, you all work. I've heard tons of you all say you all are busy doing this, that, the other, whatever it is that you all are doing, and work is necessary. Everybody knows the society is based upon. The 36 years trillion actually came from taxpayers, and the only how people could get money from taxpayers is because taxpayers work. And so I was saying, Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan, had a thoughtful moment, as I usually do. Never a dull moment in Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan brain and mind. Said, happy weekend. I'm happy for the weekend. Yes, but however, I thought at the same time, everybody's always happy for the weekend. Happiest on weekend. And aren't you all happy for weekdays? Why aren't you all happy for weekdays? Don't you all love and like what you all do? As you all said, you all have jobs and businesses and things that make you all happy, that you all made for yourselves, that you all wanted, you all needed to make yourselves happy, and now you all have all that. And during the week, it's just what is happening during the week, and then on weekend, there you all go from out of behind closed doors and take those things with you all, and those things are in and about acting as if they've been up to something good during the week. Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan knows very well. This well-educated, vested, observant taxpayer who has had money stolen from my own pocket and burglaries, the untasteful burglars that enter, and theft from of intellectual property, knows very well. Is very well and knows, healthy and wise, and knows and acknowledges and sees the fact is y'all are not fooling anybody, and especially not one person who y'all might have thought of attacking all of the time. But have y'all checked yourselves as far as how y'all are looking, attacking one person all of the time? And remember, y'all might have been able to fool some of the people some of the time, but y'all can't fool one person all of the time. So check on yourselves how y'all have been looking during the week and on weekends. Meanwhile, y'all are HIRED in places and companies and businesses and organizations that are getting kicked, that are being kicked. The revolving doors at such businesses is very I find it all comical to my well-established self-employed place of self-employment where I am. I mean, I do see contracts and gigs and freelance positions in companies who are really ready to clean up their acts and what they have going on behind those doors when they hire HIRE. Such things that are attacking Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan. They attack Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan. They have bundles and bundles of piles of a mess where they live. And on weekends, they go out, they drink, they smoke, they are kings and queens of freak nights, freak offs, excuse me, because they don't just do it during the night, they do it during the day too. So they are kings, many kings and queens of freak offs, and they put on an act during the week. They're not really happy to be in those places, businesses where they're hired, but the employers have to see them on the weekend. Oh my gosh, you employers are so are you denser than who you hire? Oh my gosh, you have to see your employees on the weekends. What are your employees doing on the weekends? Well, just score, SCOUR, the internet. Of course, they're not putting everything on the internet that they do or what they're saying. A lot of them are hidden, but everything that was hidden in the dark comes into light, and so it's all being exposed. And a lot is being reported in the news what those employees that were HIRED in many businesses, companies, organizations, and those employees are really doing quite a number of very tricky employees would have found out. That's where that term came from. It's very tricky. It's very tricky. Just as how they have backstabbing conversations and acts going on behind each other's backs, so too they have backstabbing actions and conversation going on behind the employers' backs. Yes. So it's all very a telltale signs. And Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan is an observant, studious, learned, experienced, skilled, sole proprietor, self-employed, and I do seek gainful employment, which is why I'm at my job again today, at my place of self-employment. I do seek gainful, meaning pay for my hired services or pay for my professional services. And so at work, I'm available for HIRE, providing and rendering services, professional services. And of course, click the link in my bio. And I have all of my contact information, and my website is viewable through the link in my bio also. And TOO, just a mention of, and so I just spoke of something, and regarding what I just spoke about, it's a 36 trillion growing in numbers population, so many voices, having so much money, they called and threaten, they push, they target for their unruliness. More than what they have, they are pushing for more than what they have. And Just a moment. They're pushing for more than what they have. They threaten. They are kings and queens of hotel nights, freak offs, resembling more and more resembling very P. Diddy-ish. They don't make no schools no more. They don't make schools no more anymore. They don't make no schools anymore. Somebody sang about that actually. They don't make no schools, or don't make no any schools, and that is true. These things that attack Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan, they're on their own. Those are not school materials. They haven't made them like they used to, like people used to. Whoever has been making a population, some people died, like such as my parents died, right? My parents are dead, and surely I am not having any such thing coming up from my parents anymore. But people who are making a population and who made a population and they have all that lineage, they don't make them like they used to. They don't even make them for school no more. They don't make them to go to school no more. They don't make no schools no more anymore. They have so much money. They stay in old apartments and they don't go out and buy and reinvest. In America, they stay where the monies are. They have monies under their bed up their wazoo. They're in bed with the monies with up their wazoo. So my suggestion is, or my question is, when are y'all gonna go out and buy houses? Go buy houses with huge yards to tie your wildebeest goats and kids. And when they say what they've been saying and staying, the script they've been saying about or told, and have Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan's name in their mouth, Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan asked them, when are y'all going to buy a house with much space and a yard? You know, I, Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan, knowing how it's so freaking hysterical, all of its freak offs, kings and queens of freak offs are so freaking hysterical, with real cases heard in court, and even some cases were even seen on TV and heard. For example, one such case involved a man who said he already has 2 kids and he didn't want nothing to do. I find that so freaking freak off hysterical. One man said he already has 2 kids and he didn't want nothing. He don't want nothing to do. All that is happening, by the way. All the increase in the population, that they don't know who's going to do it, and they have thoughts of wanting who to do it, and they don't want to do it themselves. And all of that is happening and being created and increasing in population. Population increasing, and so is the national debt. And taxpayers paid so much already. Did pay so much already. And as they do all of that, as you all are doing all of that, Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan raised, and it is raising Dora Strachan and Christopher Aloysius Strachan's daughter, Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan nose, nostril, and Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan is very busy raising and paying P-A-Y-N-G, for the cost of living on life. Yes. So there's a number of things happening here. It's not just one life happening, one life on Earth, planet with no. There's many things. Everybody's on each own nose, huh? Yeah, because neither my heart nor my nose is tied into the to anybody else. And so I've raised myself, and I'm raising myself while earning my living in my own business and paying for the cost of living, because life is not free. The cost of life. I mean, a lot of them made prisons and prisoners of themselves. as I discussed and talked about on Saturday or Sunday on my live broadcast. You all have already made prisons of yourselves. Prisons and prisons of yourselves. Um, and talking about prisons and prisons, this is where I will read some of the news flashes today. Some news flashes from 1010wins.com. Which of these would y'all like to, which of these news flashes about yourselves, about your numbers would y'all prefer? I'll go down, read down the list. News flashes. I have a list of names, and they all have news flashes on them, by the way. And the names in the building, and they all have news flashes about them. So some of these news flashes are about lots of people, many of those that attack and target. And so here are some news flashes from off of 1010 Wins. A man 30 years was fatally shot in the head in Midtown. Or how about air quality alert? Summer heat takes hold in New York City with humid highs near 90 degrees on Thursday. The third news flash, how about man arrested after driving 132 miles per hour on I-91 while heading to job interview. The fourth headline, a teen stabbed another punch during failed clothing sale on Brooklyn subway station. Let me click on this one and see what that's about. How do you like people clicking and picking on you all day, but there's nothing to see here. And meanwhile, I'm just clicking. Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan, I'm clicking on all the news headlines on Odyssey.com. And this one I just clicked on. The headline is about a teen stabbed, another punched during failed clothing sale at Brooklyn subway station. The NYPD is hunting 2 suspects accused of stabbing one teenager and punching another who were attempting to sell them clothes at a Brooklyn subway station on Friday morning. The teens, ages 14 and 16, were trying to sell clothes to the would-be buyers in a mezzanine on Bushwick Avenue, Aberdeen Street, L train station in Bushwick just before 9 a.m., police said. A dispute escalated to physical altercation, during which the younger teen was punched in the face and the 16-year-old was stabbed in the stomach. The suspects then took the clothes and fled on a northbound train. Medics transported the victims to Brookdale Hospital Medical Center, where officers said they were in stable condition. There have been no arrests, and the investigation is ongoing. So that's a bit of news about you all. I read those 4. I usually do my morning readings of all of the so something I did. Am I doing that for you all? Yeah, let me read something for you all about you all too. And don't blame the messenger. Huh? You know how you all are lazy, huh? You all are third, you all, you know, how lazy are you all? I read the news out loud on my live broadcast, and I know the flies and I know what's glued in, you know. But they all go very loose. They're very loose. Don't take that gluinosity as anything permanent. Oh, it goes loose. It goes loose. And weekends, I want those employers to help their employees clean up their acts. I'm urging you employers that readily hire them and are ready to tell which Jesus H. Christ. No, Jesus Christ, you have to say, unfortunately, Jesus H. Christ, you were not selected, Jesus H. Christ. Unfortunately, although you were impressed, you were crucified, and your long record of crucifixion, we are not moving forward with you, Jesus H. Christ's resume of being on the cross for their sins. Don't laugh so long, because you have to see those employees. That's the far Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan laughing, right? Jesus H. Christ? Right. Jesus H. Christ and Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan laughs at all their parts. Because the freak-offisms and the culprits in the 36 trillion, oh, it's very, very laugh-worthy. The cookie, oh, how the cookies crumbles. Another news flash I wanted to read here this morning on my live broadcast, and I will read. I saw earlier a news flash. I am reading. Oh my gosh. I will read that news flash tomorrow. But however, something that came through my Instagram page last week sometime, and I wanted to read, and I have this all queued up. It's about something that's happened, that's happening. Everything that's strange is not oh no, things are strange, and strange things do happen. Yeah. You all listen in.
My wife's secret, and I'm sick to my stomach.
Your wife got secrets.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not what you think, though.
Hey, okay.
You can't guess this.
I can't guess it, huh?
I'm 36. My wife is 33. We met through some cowork. It was love at first sight. I had recently got out of a long-term relationship when we met. That relationship was kind of abusive. My ex and my wife knew each other, but they aren't friends. I have my ex blocked on everything. We do not speak. I married my wife. We bought a house and started trying for a baby, which was difficult because my wife has PCOS. Thankfully, we finally had our baby, a girl. I love being a dad. My life felt perfect. My marriage felt perfect. This is what happily ever after looks like. While in bed one night, my laptop died, so I opened my wife's work tablet to finish doing some tax stuff. She wasn't home at the time, just me and the baby. We've never been the couple that needed to ask each other for permission to use each other's devices. Neither of us had anything to hide, so I thought.
Right.
I opened up her internet browser and she had an incognito tab open.
Uh-oh.
What's an incognito tab?
It's a tab where if you can just search whatever, and then when it closes, everything, like all the history and stuff, is gone.
So it's like
a secret tab, a secret window.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is when I got the shock of my life. She has a secret Google account with a photo album called X. I clicked it.
Uh-oh.
Expecting to find an affair or nude photos. But nope. This album has over 300 photos of my ex. The one that I mentioned at the beginning of the story. The woman who abused me, tormented me, made me feel worthless. This album went all the way back to when me and my wife first met. The most recent images were just uploaded 2 weeks ago. There was a variety of different photos. Some were from vacations, a work ID photo, candid photos with family, some photos from parties. She even had photos of her high school yearbook.
Oh, wow.
There were screenshots and screen recordings of videos with just my ex in them. If there were any other people in the photos, they will be cropped out or zoomed in just on my ex. This is not even the creepiest part. There was another album. They were zoomed in particularly just to my ex's hair. Now that I think about it, my wife recently started wearing her hair in a different hairstyle similar to how my ex would wear it. There were even more albums. Another album had all screenshots of comments on social media. Of course, I've never seen these because my ex is blocked. What's interesting is that my ex rarely is on social media. My wife had to go through great lengths to find these.
Wow.
My ex even lives in a completely different country now. There was another photo that had links to the outfits that my ex had on in these photos. Links to her specific shoes, shirt, pants, dress. Even there was a link to the water bottle she was holding in one of the photos.
What?
Come to think about it, I purchased her that water bottle while we were together. The strangest part is that this isn't just some album that was started when we were dating. Maybe just some jealousy or just snooping out of curiosity. But like I said, She updated this album 2 weeks ago. We've been married almost a decade. Why is she still curious about my ex that I have no communication with, no relationship with, and not on good terms with?
Right.
I'm disturbed that my wife has been secretly stalking my ex to mimic her, to look like her, to dress like her, to be like her. As I look back on some strange occurrences, I do remember her randomly having brand new interests and hobbies. She has gone great lengths to try to become my ex. Everything that we have or what I thought we had feels like a lie. Is our love a lie? Are the things we share together a lie? I started to get sick to my stomach. I even had a panic attack. I looked at my daughter and I just felt so betrayed. I haven't confronted her and I don't know what I would say. I don't even know if I want to. Honestly, I just want to grab my daughter, pack some things, and run away. I wanted to print out these images and leave them on the kitchen counter and just disappear. I'm so lost, I have no idea what to do. Your advice would be greatly appreciated.
I would have to have a talk with my wife.
10 years?
Yeah, because what we doing? Like, why?
10 years in?
Why you trying to be like somebody I left?
Why? Like, obviously, he's been with you a long time. Why are you worried about somebody he hasn't even been with in over a decade?
I don't get it.
He's not even friends with the ex. She's not even around. You got her around in your head. What in the world? That is...
Excuse me. I am just astounded. Did somebody just oh my God, what's going on here? There? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening in the world in America? What's happening to the world in America? What's happening? Period? Period is what? Psycho what? No, I am Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan, excuse me. Strange? Oh yeah, it sounds very strange. Strange, as strange as beyond strange. And it's all, MDCable, Rikers-able, Rikers Islandable, Rikersable, prisonable, jailable. All these things are led and leading themselves to the jails and the prisons that they have made themselves. They are jail and prison materials. All of these things are very self-leading and misleading and self-leading themselves into the crimes. And I know I'm Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan. I'm knowledgeable in this fact. I rest at night and during the day too as I work and do my business. And even when I get the worst, nastiest emails or phone calls or things from people that these are the sort of things that are hiring to the employees amongst the employees, and the employers are just the same, because what's the saying about the upholder is worse, it's just as bad as the thieves? Yeah, well, those employers are involved in and participating by way of watching and entertaining such practices among their employees. And Jennifer Elizabeth Strachan is quite attuned and aware, AWARE. Right here I am in my place of self-employment, and when I'm hired by self-learned companies who are ready to clean up their acts, then I will be thankful. And then, until then, I will certainly report all of the bad news. And of course, I'm good. I'm pretty good at reporting about the bads that attack me. And it's when they try and click on that one, click on that one, click on that one, pick on that one, pick on that one, make sure that one stay on the crosses that Jesus each Christ for their sins. No, that's not happening. That is not really doable. It's not really doable. I concentrate on my own life and my business, and I fine-tune my skills and my experience. Of course, all of that's happening against me, just chalk it up as more experience from bad things happening to good people. That's all that is. It shows the extent of what employers and their employees are doing against one person. That's what that is. And it will go down so in court, in the court files. It's all on the record. Thankfully, we're all on the record. And here where we are. We are in America. I'm a born Grenadian, U.S. resident citizen. And I live and reside and work and studied and work and pay bills for the cost of my living in America. And so I'm at work today again on the job, available for hire, HIRE, providing and rendering services. My phone number is 347-693-4437. Email jenniferestrachan.ldams@workmail.com, and website LDAMS-BigAsThis.com. come.